Reviewer, we got him.
Seriously?
Yep. You ready to go get that furball back?
You ready for this?
As I could be.
Bring Mr. Ed home safely. The hell is this place?
This must be Drakal's dimension.
Alright, so where are we headed?
According to my calculations, we should be heading in that direction.
Alright. Doc, how long is this gonna take?
Well, I'm sorry I didn't plan on an in-flight movie.
Ha ha, very funny.
Look, why don't you keep yourself entertained and do a review or something?
A review? Well, in light of the announcements at E3 this year...
Hey, you know that decades-old game that you all love? The one you constantly clamor for Square Enix to make an HD remake of? The one you likely already own on PlayStation Network, PC, an emulator, or heck, the original PlayStation? Well, Square Enix is making it for the PS4, and oh! No, they're not. It's just a port of the PC version.
Well, that info is outdated.
Final Fantasy VII is coming to PS4, only it's not an HD remake like people were hoping for. And people are understandably upset because they didn't get what they were expecting and are instead getting something they likely already have. People want an HD Final Fantasy VII. People want Final Fantasy VII to look the same as Final Fantasy XIII. People want a fully voice-acted game and updated battle system. Now, are you sure that's a good idea? Because I'm not.
Okay, I'm game. Where are you going with this?
Forgive me for sounding pessimistic, but I really think that making an HD Final Fantasy VII right now is a terrible idea. Not because I think Final Fantasy VI is more deserving, which it is.
You know what the ironic thing is? Half the problems he's about to list could apply to either Final Fantasy VI or VII.
Let me go into the reasons why. Number one, Square Enix's management. Square Enix is the company that announced Final Fantasy XIII Versus all the way back in 2006, planning to release it alongside Final Fantasy XIII exclusive to PS3. During that time, we've gotten the delayed release and port of Final Fantasy XIII, two mediocre sequels to Final Fantasy XIII, the failed launch of an MMO, the sort of successful relaunch of the failed MMO, and a bunch of failed spin-offs. All we got was just a few trailers about Versus, delaying it constantly until they decided in 2013 to change its name to Final Fantasy XV, and they're still not close to being done with it. Do you really trust that kind of management with one of your treasured childhood memories? I certainly wouldn't.
Well, okay, the whole Versus 13 thing, that was one instance. And as far as the dud games go, every company releases duds every now and then.
When was the last time you played a game that was made by Square Enix that you could truly hold close to your heart like you did with early Final Fantasy games?
Well, actually...
Yeah, I thought so.
Well, just shut up and let me talk! Personally, I've enjoyed every Square Enix game I've played, most of them being after KH2. Now, granted, I haven't played a lot of the games released, but still.
Do you really think that Square Enix cares about you? Do you really think Square Enix cares about your nostalgia and wanting to make you feel happy? No! This is the company that released a crappy Final Fantasy VII iOS racing game. This is the company that said Final Fantasy All the Bravest was a good idea.
Again, every company makes mistakes.
Number two, Cloud's development over the years. You guys remember that image of Cloud then and Cloud now? There's more we can delve into regarding it. Cloud in the original Final Fantasy was a good character. He wisecracked, took charge, and was admittedly kind of an ass.
You know, I will never understand censoring swears on the internet.
If they do happen to remake it, people are going to want voice acting. And what's going to happen then? Cloud's going to be voiced by Steve Burton, who sounds like a stoned Quentin Flynn trying to be Edward Cullen. When Cloud first had a voice in Kingdom Hearts, he's been considerably more melancholy and has been on a downward spiral ever since.
Well, yeah, but that doesn't mean he won't do a good job with the original characterization of Cloud.
If they remake Final Fantasy VII, it's likely going to stick to the Advent Children characterizations and no more zipper and belt designs. Just, no.
Okay, now you see, that's what makes the difference between a remake and a reboot. If this was a reboot, then yeah, they'd probably go with the more emo personification of Cloud. But this is a remake. They will, or at least they should, go with the original.
Number three, the nature of remakes. Making an HD remake of Final Fantasy VII sounds like a get-rich-quick scheme on paper, but Let's really think about this. Remakes from the ground up are a fickle beast. Since Final Fantasy VII didn't originally have voice acting or clear facial expressions, adding them has a high chance of changing your interpretation of it. How a voice actor says a line can really change what actually comes across. It's likely not going to go the same way you pictured it in your head because some people, including the people actually making the game, interpret things different ways. I'm just saying, if the remake happens, then you should be prepared for things not to go exactly how you thought it would.
Well, that's not necessarily a bad thing. In fact, I'm pretty sure that most fans are prepared for that.
Assuming, and that's a hard assuming, that everything was updated faithfully, the gameplay wasn't tweaked in the wrong direction, the graphics were updated well, the voice acting worked. Is this really going to be a financially worthwhile endeavor for Square Enix?
Did he really just try to make that argument? So basically, what you're saying is that a game that everybody's been asking for years has everything that could possibly go right for it, go right, might not be a financial success for Square Enix?
Many people underestimate the amount of work that would go into a remake of Final Fantasy VII. This isn't like an HD upscaling like what they did with Kingdom Hearts or Final Fantasy X. This is rebuilding it from the ground up.
Okay, yes, the remake will be a lot of work, but I have no doubt in my mind that if it's done well, it'll be a big success for Square Enix.
Bottom line, I just don't think it's feasible at present for a Final Fantasy VII remake to exist. Too many things have to go perfectly in order for it to happen. Final Fantasy VII has a lot of iconic moments and great characters, and I don't trust the Square Enix of today to preserve that. If you trust them, you have a lot more faith in Square Enix than I do.
Okay, yes, things could possibly go wrong with the Final Fantasy VII remake. But here's the thing. To borrow a criticism from the Nostalgia Critics review of the Last Airbender movie, we'll still have the original to enjoy. I mean, how could you not? The original game is released on every PlayStation system imaginable. Even if this Final Fantasy VII remake turns out to be total crap, we will always have the original to play and enjoy.
Reviewer, get over here. We've made it.
You could come on out. We know you're there.
No one enters my domain without me knowing it.
Chakal! It's nice to see you again.
The feeling is not mutual.
Yeah, I figured as much.
All right, Drakal. Let Mr. It go.
I shall, just as soon as you hand over the Draconica. The spellbook.
Guess I don't have much of a choice. Just answer me this. Why do you want this thing so badly?
You fool. That's not just a spellbook you carry. It has immense magical power. In mere mortal hands such as yours grant you unbelievable power. But in my hands, it will give me power even I cannot imagine. Last, it is mine. Now therefore I have no choice but to hand this piece of the trap.
All right. Now let Mr. It go. You know, I don't think I will. What? Seeing how sad it made reviewer to know that his best friend was trapped, it was amazing. I wonder how you'll feel when he's gone forever. What the hell? It!
I am nothing if not a man in my world. When I or one of my underlings makes a promise, I intend to see that it is kept.
But you said I could!
I said I would give you the means to do so. And here it is. But because of your insolence, you will not get to do it this time.
Hey, I'm not done with you!
Because I am feeling generous, I will allow you the opportunity to leave.
Well, if you ask me, I think we should take him up on his offer.
You are. I'm not.
Reviewer! I can't! This thing only has enough juice in it for one round trip, and it'll take days to recharge!
Why do you insist on opposing?
not gonna allow you to do whatever evil stuff you're planning to do with the spellbook.
If you surrender now, I may still have to generosity. And make this a quick and painless death.
Well, what do you want me to do? Just tell you that this thing is... it's recharged. No, I mean, it's really recharged. I don't know how it happened.
Perhaps I should have to use this. Aranias costa mocha. Ranas masculato. Anio canna.
Letarium Incarcerus! No!
No, that's impossible.
Thanks, It. You always got my back.
What about Drakal?
Well, looked like the spellbook was imploding on itself and it zapped Drakal out of existence. I don't think we're ever gonna have to deal with him again. Yeah, how many of you actually believe that?